almost 24 hours a day by an elderly gentleman. The people that had him at the time couldn't keep him anymore and needed to find a home for him. The day that I got there, he was very playful and very cute. I decided to adopt him. I took him home, and after that, it has just been a nightmare with him. He has bitten me a total of 4 times, really, really bad, once in the face. He would bite me when I went to his food bowl. He would not allow people in our house. We couldn't have people over. We couldn't take him anywhere. We couldn't have him around other dogs. There was nothing to do with him. I called a bunch of animal trainers from the Yellow Pages, and everybody suggested that we take him to the Humane Society and put him down because he apparently was a very aggressive dog and couldn't be trained. At the time, he was only a 1.5 years old, and I really didn't feel that that was the correct answer. So in reading some books, I found that there are such things as animal behaviorists. So we hired an animal behaviorist, and after 3 visits with him, we really didn't see any changes with Max. He really didn't give us any exercise to do with him, and there really was no difference. He just stayed the same, and he was not any better. About 4 weeks ago, Max found a tissue on the floor, and when I went to pick it up, he bit me severely. I called my husband at work and told him I was done. I could not handle him anymore. This was not the type of life I wanted for myself, where I couldn't have people in my house, where I had to take him out to my son's house when people came over. And I wanted to either put him down because he's not adoptable or find a no-kill shelter. I went online to the internet to look up no-kill shelters or Lhasa Apso rescues. The rescues were full, the no-kill shelters were full. By accident, and totally by accident and the grace of God, I found the website for Richard Heinz, and it has been, this is our 3rd visit, our class with him, Max's first time at the park, and it has been such a remarkable difference that it has just made us so happy to see the change in him. He's really becoming a good dog now, and he's really starting to listen, and we can't wait to see what's going to happen at the end, because we were looking forward to this day like we were winning a lottery ticket to see how he was going to be in the park. And he did phenomenal, and we are so appreciative.
Well, all I can say is that I used to be afraid to walk him for the reaction he was going to display when somebody else walked by, or a jogger jogged by, or a bicyclist rode by. He would do a Cujo and almost hang himself from the leash trying to get at them. It is such a difference now when we walk him. He pays almost no attention to anybody going by. He has learned how to walk. He stays right by your leg, and that's only after 3 visits. And today, to see him interacting with other dogs really for the first time, with very, very little reaction from him, was really amazing. And you know what? This was probably the best thing for us. It was certainly the best thing for Max, because Max would have been put down.
Definitely.
So, you know, all we can do is thank you, because it's changed our life in just 3 visits.
Yep.
And it's been well worth it.
Yeah. Let me ask you something. What would you say that is the difference between Richard and the other trainers, or the other trainers you had?
Well, because we never saw any result after 3 visits with the other trainer.
Well,
and we saw results after the first visit. And so, you know, if we didn't see any results after a couple of visits with Richard, we probably would have said, you know, everybody's the same. They really can't help Max. But we saw such a remarkable difference after the first, second, and now this 3rd visit. It was unbelievable.
And I believe the reason is because Richard helps us to understand why Max is behaving the way he's behaving, and what we need to do to stop that. So in a way, like I tell my friends about Richard and Oscar, and I tell them that really we're getting trained. We're the ones that are getting trained. We're being taught what there is to understand about his behavior so that we can help him and teach him. And even one visit, we didn't really do a whole lot of exercise with Max, but we sat and talked a lot about different issues that Max had. And with Richard and Oscar explaining to us why he does it and giving us a for instance and doing a little exercise with us and Max, we're able to understand what we need to do and why we're doing it. And that's the whole thing, is that you just have to understand the dog's behavior. And I think Richard is really the only one that I've ever met that really understands that.
So, that note, would you say that your life quality has been improved?
Oh my God.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, just not being so apprehensive of walking him. It's such a change. Not looking over my shoulder to see if anybody might be sneaking up behind us, so I have to grab hold of him. He just is so much more relaxed and calm. And
we had people come over to the house the other night for dinner, and we did exactly the routine, the exercise that we're supposed to do with him when we're opening the door, and he followed. He was great. It was a pleasure. We told him to get on his bed right before we sat down for dinner, and he stayed on his bed throughout the whole meal. Not once did he try to get up and come over to the table. Totally not like he used to be. Totally not.
And even sitting here now, people are walking by, bikes are going by. Max would never have been able to just sit here and relax with all this activity going on around him. Before, he couldn't do it. He was at a level that anything would set him off.